And there the gun goes. This iconic city hosts 27,000 runners on their way. The elites are at the front of the 46th edition of the Zurich Barcelona Marathon. As the theme Barcelona blares out and sends their runners on their way. It's hard to believe it's been 33 years since those phenomenal Olympic Games in 1992. I ran past where the rowing took place next to the elite hotel. And, so many different locations in Barcelona, and completed what was a spectacular victory. But who is going to take the title today? Went through some of those potential lead runners. It's going to be about the paces. We're in 24 there. That's Vincent Nongo, who's a 59.33 runner himself when winning at Seville earlier this year. So he's in fine form. The pacer wearing number 24, right on the centre of the screen there in the blue with a luminous yellow. We're in 21. That's William Coman Gibson. He's a fairly unknown runner, but a lot of these pacemakers do their job. They race sparingly, often their training partners of the field themselves. Check to themselves, there's a little conversation. So there's a little bit of discussion amongst pacemakers. I'd love to go through the 30-kilometre mark, but it's about these discussions early on. It's about who's going to be leading what, who's going to be going to push or pull the pace. Athletes pretty much there. Navarro, centre of picture. He's the one that's taking that box seat behind the three pacemakers. It's interesting in terms of his early intentions in the race. Not afraid to mentions for James Waffles. Always most creative from London Marathon every year. So we'll tinsel with designs. You don't want exactly the same bottle as someone else. There are a few brands now that run out their bottles, so they have to decorate them into a drink station. 3 of you, 2 of you have the same drink bottle. It'd be an absolute disaster. Not the same in there in terms of pictures. 58 minutes, 59 seconds over 59 minutes for the majority of the field, so that's significant. We've got 30 seconds faster than we were at this point last year. Also, we're 6 seconds faster than we were the quickest half that we've seen in Barcelona through the marathon. And that is exciting stuff. Let's see how the next kilometre goes. Navarro's just starting to feel that very slightly. He is running. There's a few strollers on there. But, most people are course side. Most people are cheering on the runners. Some are getting their Sunday runs in themselves alongside. They know they're alongside some of the very best elites. Does it look like our paces have gone? Looks like we're going to the next drink station, so just a little move out, little navigation. This is an important drink station. They're all important, but it's so important to keep that fuel on board at this point of the race. top. Very well done by those pacemakers. A good day out, part of the forum for families. Lots to do there. Loads of different activities and again, such a fantastic shot of the city, which looks like a beautiful summer's day here. It's not. It's a beautiful day for marathon running. Conditions are almost perfect. Just a light breeze, around about 12, 13 degrees. It looks so clear. It's gold sand, almost looks like it could be summertime. It looks like one of our pacemakers is keeping going. That is spectacular in terms of running terms. Normally you get to this distance. It's Vincent, there go the athlete with 59.33 from winning the Seville half marathon. So he is quality. I'll tell you what, he steps up to the marathon. He's a name to look out for. Vincent, there you go, is one you've got to put maybe on your bucket list race organisers to get making his marathon debut. Oof, wow, that was a little bit close, too close for comfort there. The navigation of the bollard by Victor. Yeah, wow, did not want to run into a bollard after an hour and 30 minutes. Gone through there, that was 13 kilometres. Let's watch an action replay. Some steeplechasers in this group. But Vincent's not one of those. And, oh wow, needs a little bit of signposting, or as in they have in a Tour de France, someone stood on waving a flag either side. 1:28:30. We are continuing the theme of being inside course record pace. So we are exactly where we thought we wanted to be in terms of the race. This is great. We're on 2:04:30 pace. That's exactly on my pacing chart in front of me. Just getting slightly over a little bit of breeze. That's a nice way of finishing the spot I have in relation to that finishing line. It's beautiful. Arc de Triomphe awaits the runners. The finishing line here at the 46th edition of the Zurich Barcelona Marathon. We are now just starting to thin out this lead group. Cornelius Kippenkamp is the athlete in orange. Now this is the gap. It happened at the jig station. They've not been able to recover. Fastest man in the field, Ainu, is now struggling. Next to him is the athlete wearing 9, Bella, who we thought was struggling prior to that. And then also next to him, it looks like athlete wearing 5. That could be Moses Kibet. Moses looked good early on as well. Just a few kilometres. He was tucked right in that group, but where was the jig station? You would have thought, even if they were put up in the drink station, that they still would have been able to get back onto this group. Enoch Achari on the back of that group wearing 6. Cornelius Kibet kept the gap in that orange singlet. He looks good. Very relaxed, rhythmical, arms driving him. It's a picture of concentration right now. Great shot. I love this when they're able to do these side-on. He does give an appreciation for the mechanics, the technique. Where many of them spend hours, especially the get a chance to do warm-up drills, hours and hours on what is not just a simple get out and run. About drills, about exercises, conditioning work in the gym. Like I said earlier, 200 kilometers per week of training, week after at the front. When his job is done, I wonder whether it's, I should have asked that question. Often in the marathons that they have sitting in contracts where they're not allowed to finish. So pacemakers do their job, there's no confusion, they do go up the road. There have been a few examples of pacemakers disappearing up the road and finishing. And for some races it's outlawed and not allowed. For others they're a little more flexible. And the fact that he's such a quality runner, maybe we'll run 59.33 for the half and make this front running 33 kilometres look as good. As they head towards the 33 kilometres, that'll be Tour Glorious. It's again another spectacular building. One of the newer buildings. There you go. You see the distance to the left. Opened in 2005 in the neighbourhood of the French architect Jean Nouvel. It's opened by one Colosse in that year as they go for 20 miles. So those that work in miles, I flip probably month by month to whether I run with kilometres or miles. I think it distracts me from my usual runs or getting too complacent. I know other runners either stick to one or the other. A little look, 20 miles always been significant in marathon running. I mean, that's where the dreaded wall. They always talk about hitting the runners where energy or pace drops. So, my good friend Steve Jones, former world record holder in the marathon, used to say that the marathon is about controlled 20 miles and then a 10k race. So it matters not too much what you did before that point. As you got to a 20-mile point, as economically as controlled as possible. If you overcooked it, it's a long, long way home. So go, Malay's 51. Scotty Chetnango and Sally Chidiego are the three leading women at the moment. So the next bit we get from them is also their 30 kilometres. Remember, we need a slight increase in pace to get after that course record. Running very even pace at the moment. Just need to maintain that. In fact, looking around at the club runners that are with them, that's stayed very consistent as well, which kind of indicates that the pacemakers have done a great job. It also means that these elite women have kept it very consistent as well. Operating around 7.320 per kilometre, around 16.30, 16.40 per 5k split. Maybe just for the first time, just a little look over his shoulder. So whether he is staying in, deciding to race it now, but he's trying to go back to the front again. Vincent, there you go. Little check of his watch. It's 1 hour 38 minutes of running, so this is very, very impressive pacemaking. It does look slightly fatigued, but you might be thinking, you know what, I'm just over 20 minutes away from completing my first marathon. Maybe I'll keep going. Maybe he's thinking, I'll get 35 kilometres, get an extra special payday, especially the fact that they're maintaining towards this course record pace. 5 kilometre split, so consistent splits. That's one I have been really impressed with the pacemakers. Yeah, 3 of them through the distance have done a good job. Looking at Masai in the chase group, 3 of them there. They haven't got too much support. That does make it more difficult. So the pace has dropped up front. Looks like it's around about 20 seconds then back to the group behind. So it shows you that sub 220 clocking, that's tough. They're operating now at just around 220. So that's not impossible to get back towards course record pace, but they need to continue to race it, the 3 of them. Now the race is maybe on up front in the men's. 1 hour 41 on the race clock, and now I think, yes, the pacemaker, I think we should definitely salute him. What a job Vincent Nego did, what a great job. Little look to his left, to his right. My job is done here, but as I said, look out for his name in the future. I think he's got a sparkling marathon career. But that does mean now we are down to a race. Enough Chari's there wearing 6. Cornelius Kiplagat wearing 7. He's there. 12. Tesfaye de Vera is the other. And there's now a gap back to 11. That's Victor Kipchirchir is the athlete now that's just dropping off that group. Tesfaye de Vera now is trying to push that on, trying to push the pace on. Tall striding Ethiopian on the right hand side of the screen. Kenyan athlete to his left in the orange singlet. Kiplagat's best 2:05.52 set last year in China. Also Tagura's best also set last year in China as well, so 2:07.52. So both operating a lot faster than they've done ever before in their lifetimes. Kiplagat there. Stats on the screen as they come to their next drink station. A little less traffic around them, much easier to sight. And now the gaps are growing. Doesn't mean it's over for the likes of Kipchirchir. Still looks strong, and he's still got to believe maybe one of these front 3 could come back. But we are now a really important part of the race now, coming towards 35 kilometres, so that will mean that we've got 7 kilometres of racing here. Joining us from around the world, welcome to the 46th edition of the Zurich Barcelona Marathon. And spectacular day so far. Now the business end of the elite men's race. Towards around 45 minutes of running. Moment in Ethiopia and Kenya at the front. Participate. On the right hand side of the sprint. There is 35 kilometre sprint. 1:43.03. So that makes it a minute inside course record pace. So we are absolutely flying now. 1:14. I should say 40 seconds inside course record pace, I should say. So 40 seconds, so not maybe the minute I just mentioned, but 40 seconds is still a good amount of change. But 12 months ago, Abraham Tedesse was absolutely flying in the latter stages. But this man is right now, look at this. This is impressive. The look of the watch. It was in shape. Didn't have that lifetime best over the half marathon distance. Kilometres in, probably the next kilometre. They've got 5 kilometres of running to go. Chari there, he's having a breathtaking run as well, operating way inside his lifetime best. Is around 1 hour 58 minutes, closer to that and closer to around about 2:04:30. Cornelius gap there at the second place position at the moment. His eyes are locked on the leader, Tessifate Ferreira. This is the race now. This is fascinating. He did look good stage of the race, kind of came to the front, quite distinctive, was a little bit taller than some of the other runners, very powerful. So his background as a steeplechaser, World Championship steeplechaser as well. That was back in 2017, him in London. Successful move to the roads, and he's up against those that only know the roads as a career. Trying to keep this man in his sights. The crowd appreciate really good running here in Barcelona. They love their sport. Cheers by the finishing line. Jordi Rivera, I think, is coming in to take the wheelchair title. Great applause. Deriva on the screen in front. Maybe just a slight grimace now. I'll tell you what, if he does get any feedback on the course, he's pulling away almost stride by stride. Not to say Cornelius couldn't get back. You see the power off the ground. There you go, 37 kilometres. So just over 5 kilometres. Now interested in training. So these runners don't necessarily run marathon distance, so they might get close to marathon distance, but also not at this pace. for a majority of them not on the roads either. So their running will be done softer trails at times, but they will still do their key longer runs on the road. But this is where it's a little bit of the unknown towards the end of the race, where you've got to think around just conserving enough energy. Definitely won't want to tip the point of fatigue. He knows he's on for a course record, so in terms of finance, some prize money for winning, but there's also good prize money for performances inside the course record. But in the elite women's race, 3 athletes have been absolutely locked, almost in sync behind the pacemaker. Malaise is still there, Diego's there. Check Diego. There has been nothing to choose between them for so much of the race. They're an hour and 50 minutes into racing. We know that they're around about the 2:20 mark, so they're going to need a pickup if we are going to get the course record. It's not impossible. The next split is going to be really, really vital. Split around the 1 hour 55 and maybe 40-second mark if they are going to get close to that record. Reba is looking very strong. People on their balconies appreciating this fantastic Ethiopian talent. This would be by far the biggest victory of his marathon career. He's got a lovely slight lead. You can see that falling into the next foot strike. Any runners at home to look at good running technique and look at his posture. He's a tall runner physically, but he makes himself even taller by really good posture. Slight lean, so he's always falling into the next foot strike. Maximising the super shoes, that's something to think about. Rebound onto the next foot strike. And the motorbike does a great job of giving us a visual of that distance from Pioneer's kick the gap to our leader, Tessfaye Deriba. Cheers on the side. He'll be locked now into that lead vehicle. He'll be thinking now about form, about technique, and also just maintaining that distance from the chaser behind. Kiplagat, I don't think any of the other chasers behind him. Kiplagat, even though he looks tired, he's still moving pretty well off the ground, and if he can maintain this, then he's going to be on his way to a massive lifetime best as well. That also opens up, invites back again if he can get on the podium, and the number of marathons that they can do in years, maybe 3 or 4. So that's going to be significant. There's a youngster, that's a great shot. I love that. The youngster managed about 20 metres of the pace that Deriba's going to run for 2 kilometres.
8th place that day. Again, that shows the quality, the depth in distance running. The Hangzhou Marathon last year was second when he ran his lifetime best. And, this progression today, though, this will be one that he's really waited for. This is only his second ever marathon. And, Prague was only his second ever half marathon, so going up the distances very successfully. On his steeplechase days, but even making a final of the World Steeplechase, this will be far more significant financially. And also back home in Ethiopia, we'll be watching this and cheering, as they will in Kenya as well. Kimlanga has put a really good test to Riva. He's not giving up at the moment. That is significant. This race is not done. And again, fantastic opportunity for the masses out there to look across and see the leader. They will be cheering on Tessafe Deriva, leading this historic marathon. It's the women's race now. Back to the chasers, back to Lynette Massai, who's not given up. She's so experienced that anyone can pull back a lead. So maybe Massai. Sharon Chalima Russo is with her as well. And, the two of them, gap was not significant at the last time check, but it's around about 18 seconds at 30 kilometers. So 35 kilometers is the next split we're anticipating. And there to come up, the screen in front of me, 1:56.16. So I think we have dropped outside of the hope of getting the course record. And I'll tell you what, that is significant in front of me, because Russo and Massai have caught the leaders. They have bridged the gap at 35 kilometers, so that's significant. We weren't looking back at the chasers. There's Lynette Massai. We're looking back at the leaders now. So Sharon Chalima Russo at the front, Lynette Massai. We saw them earlier and they were off the back by about 18 seconds. And now they are almost back right there. Russo is the athlete now that's been pushing on now. Pace of 25, interestingly, when they dropped back, it was Nixon Kiprotich Kura who was pacing that group. It's a dog on the course, wow. I saw a video of a runner, an incident with a dog in one of the marathons somewhere, so hopefully someone gets that dog on a lead, because there's going to be a few thousand people coming through the same distance shortly as well. 25 miles. Throw of the bottle down. Tessafe Deriva. He knows he's got a mile of running. 1:58.30 on at the race clock. .57.37. You can see the gap now is 30 seconds. Another 12 seconds back to Enoch Machari. 1:37. We are a minute inside course record pace. So we are going to see a new course record, barring any real fatigue. What a superb performance. But he's got to maintain this over this last 2.2 kilometers. And as we saw in Seville with Solon Varega, last 2.2 kilometers can be a long way if the wheels come off. Can be fairly short. If you're feeling quite good, you know you're on for a massive course record. Tezfay Diriba, again, fairly new name to American, but he's going to announce himself if he can just continue this pace. And the chaser behind, Cornelius Kiplagat, he's done a great job as well, because if he can maintain this, he's on for a massive lifetime best, because he's going to be inside 2 hours and 5 minutes as well. The cheers, the crowd, you can hear it now, it is building. Spectators trying to catch a run and a video of the leader as 2 hours comes on the race clock. So significantly, just over a kilometre of running. Still chasing the lead vehicle, still chasing history here in Barcelona. And there you go, 1.1 kilometre. Tezfay Diriba, the Ethiopian athlete that is going to be a new name to marathon running. 26-year-old, so we've still got lots of years left. A former steeple chaser is chasing that course record. Abraham Tedesse, the Swiss athlete, that Swiss record, 2 hours, 5 minutes and 1 second. The gap is growing stride by stride. Looks really good. Getting some shouts of encouragement from those who decided they know he's on for his course record. They want him to maintain this pace. See how fast he can throw down a time. Third on the world list this year is 2 hours and 4 minutes. The fastest time in the world, 2:03.23. Tedesse slightly, I'm thinking, outside that, but still going to be, I think, maybe the third or fourth fastest time of 2025 so far. It is, barring disaster, going to be the fastest marathon we've ever seen in Barcelona. Taking the last few turns, it's going to be looking out for the iconic structure, the Arc de Triomphe here, built in 1888 for Barcelona World Fair. The showpiece then, it's the showpiece, the finishing arch, just a few hundred meters after that to the finishing line. Of the Zurich Barcelona Marathon. 2 hours and 3 minutes on the race clock. The organisers are getting the race tape ready. The noise is building here by the finishing line. We can barely hear ourselves think here. I'll tell you what, the progression that we've had over the last few years here. Course records have continued to fall year on year since 2016. 42 kilometres have been completed. The last 0.2 kilometre is going to take the right-hand turn. He's going to see the Arc de Triomphe here. And the crowd are appreciating this super fast running. Keep an eye on that race clock. It's going to be just outside 2 hours and 4 minutes. So it's going to be a massive course record here. So here at the 46th edition of the Zurich Barcelona Marathon 2025, the champion from Ethiopia is Tezfay Diriba in a massive new lifetime best, a massive new course record. That is an absolutely phenomenal performance. Oh, the organisers are absolutely ecstatic with that. We can see them down there. And I tell you what, this is going to be a big lifetime best for Cornelius Kiplagat, second place. And I think he's going to be inside the course record from last year as well. What a run. There'll be time bonuses for that as well. He is 2 inside the course record. Well done to Cornelius and his team. And it looks like Enoch Achari is going to be third, just outside 2 hours and 5 minutes. That is some real depth here in Barcelona. And there, look at that, they've updated the caption already. Tesfaye Deriba, his new lifetime best, now says Barcelona on it. He's wrapped and draped in the Ethiopian national flag. Performance. Now, I hope the race tape can be sighted. Pacemaker will need to navigate their way out the way as our club runner. So here at the Zurich Barcelona Marathon 2025, a course record by Sharon Chalimo and the title. Fantastic win. And well, the organisers have got a double course record to pay out, and they will be delighted with that. A special 46th edition of the Zurich Barcelona Marathon. And I tell you what, that's a hard-fought win and victory. The pace that was needed over the last few kilometres for that course record. Yugel Melessa is going to take the runner-up position just outside the 2:20 mark. So real consistency by the Ethiopian athlete. And who's going to complete the podium? A fantastic race. Blaze was up there for all of it. And well, it was the pacing of Sharon Chalimo coming through for a phenomenal victory, with second place for Malays. And Lynette Massai, what a performance. Longevity personified by Lynette Massai, who takes third place in a massive new lifetime best, 2:21.03 for one of our best ever track runners, a former world champion, over 10 kilometers, world cross country medals, and she's going to be a very popular figure on the podium today. And I tell you what, I don't think we've seen the fastest from Lynette Massai. I think Lynette can go even faster than that, but what she will be is delighted to have paced that pretty well. She was in the group